Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Racist Driving League Season 15 for round number 12 of the Championship, the Hungarian Grand Prix from the Hungary Ring. I'm your main host, Zach RC, bringing you through all the action of the 12th round of the Championship. And alongside me once again, returning Season 11 champion, Touchby Pope, who's looking forward to this one. Pope, you excited?
I'm very excited for this. I love Hungary, it's one of my favourite tracks, and my best probably ever moment in an RDL race actually happened at this circuit on the last lap, on the last corner, with an overtake on Salve Blaze, leading me to get a win here at Hungary. It was season 12, so yes, it was in my defence of my championship, and it was probably the best moment I've done.
That's the one win in your title defence, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a shocking title defence, so really...
it was, surely, I'll give you that.
Yeah, really.
I can say it now for a few seasons. But anyway, the big news for tonight is that I'm very excited to reveal is the fact that we now have... so obviously after the equal performance patch after the equal performance got ruined last week, we now have F1 World liveries to replicate the actual teams. So me and Pope can now no longer sit here and get confused as to who is who and who's driving for what team. So again, shout out to JB in particular for taking his time to sort those out over the course of the last week or so. Much appreciated, and we're looking forward to seeing some of these very sexy looking liveries out on the racetrack, including this one here, the Alpine, the current championship leaders at Salve Grumio. And of course, Pope beat a couple of seasons ago, as he said, to win that race. As you can see, Salve logo on the side of the car. Very convenient that, of course, that's the name of the sponsor within the game, so you can spam that all over his machine, and we could be seeing him at the top of the times potentially. I have to wait and see.
Yeah, definitely. I think Salve, obviously, as we always say, every single race, he's always one to look out for. The race didn't go his way last time out in Britain, where it was the championship leader, Sniper Hunter, who is leading by 35 points currently, taking the win there on penalties, with the unlucky Websy getting speed in the pit lane penalty right for his one and only pit stop, should I say, and that's what cost him his race. It was such an unfortunate time for Websy.
Do you want to follow Grimmer here on his quali lap so we can get a good idea of what it's like to run the Hungarian Pope?
I would love to do that. So going through the final corner, there if possible, going as wide as possible. It really does help you get the most out of your top line, straight line speed. Braking at 75 metre board for turn one, very hard to hook it up, and making sure you don't spin the wheels too much on the traction zone. So going into turn two here, a nice sweeping left-hander. We've seen contact between Max Verstappen and Daniel Ricciardo here in 2017 or 18. Memory cannot serve me that well. Finishing sector one now, taking this left-hander very easy to invalidate, as Sal does that perfectly. Maybe a little bit more time to gain on the entry, but the exit was fantastic. The reprofile corner there is so nice, going into this chicane, which sends the car so backwards, and the tyres are heating up to a ridiculous level at this point. The track is so hard on your tyre temps, which is why I preferably loved it, because I like driving with higher tyre temps, but some of these drivers might get caught out from this. Middle of the second sector, it's flat out. Turning the wheel as much as you can, the grip is going. End of sector two, going into this right-hander, we've seen Kimi Räikkönen do a fantastic drift around that corner. One of the best moments from that 2015 or 16 season. It was very, very good, I cannot lie. Exit, this is where I made the move on the person that we are following, Grumio. I will mention that as many times today. Final corner, flat out, using 70% of the ERS, going into a 1:59.81. Less than half a tenth behind Cheese. Bear in mind, Grumio is on those medium tyres. Yeah, Sniper is in the prime position now. We're about to hit the halfway point of the season, so This is when the points start to matter a hell of a lot more. And if Sniper can keep banging in these results, we could see a first-time champion be crowned by the end of the season.
Essentially, yes. I just realised I muted the last minute or so because I muted up while you were doing the lap to blow my nose because I have a cold. So I'm back now, guys. Hopefully you can all hear me again. I've been told by Ethan in the chat, because you guys may have seen at the start the two McLarens going side by side each other. I'm being told they didn't have a team issue, no domestic there. They're just looking at each other's helmets. So we'll have to see that. And I've just realised how odd that must sound on stream if I'm being entirely honest with myself. Regardless, though, we'll move on from that unfortunate situation. We'll carry on here. So 10 drivers all set lap times now. We'll look Fan there in 7th place. Of course, looking between Fan and Grumio, 6/10 between them. Both on the mediums. And we know Fan likes to set his banker on the second softest tyre, most typically before going on to the soft to the end. But a bit different from him today, a bit slower compared to the current champion.
Yeah, no, Fan and the Mercedes team in general like to experiment with their strategies. We all know this. So, to be honest, quite lucky for them to see their pace compared to Grumio, because as we can all agree, Grumio is kind of the pace set here, especially on one-lap pace. Grumio is unstoppable. He had a record amount of pole positions last season, ever to be seen in IDL, which was quite ridiculous.
And we looked through, we looked at every single one of them over time. I'm about to be a compilation to make every single Grumio pole lap in RDL season 14. So give me a few views here and there, hopefully. Lucky Lambert there in pit lane in P8. Again, still waiting on 8 cars at a time, including both Red Bulls. I believe they're the Red Bulls. Oh my God, I could be wrong. Sorry, no, those are the Williams cars. Those are Cottney Goblin and Websy. I get a feeling I still might get very confused by some of the colours on the side tire. Just get myself used to it. There's the Aston Martin being driven by Che this week. Che alone in the Aston on the.
It's nice to see Jay back on the grid.
Yeah, definitely. Of course.
Yeah, it's very nice to see him back on the grid. He was fantastic last season, I do have to say. Came up short, but was fantastic.
Oh, Lycon goes fastest. Oh, hello. Pole position here for the AlphaTauri of Lycon, who goes up in front of Cheese and the Red Bulls under that lap. And Che now goes fastest by half a second to Lycon. So we've cut away at the wrong time there. Sniper goes second, only just in there behind the Aston Martin, but very close to pole there, Pope.
Yeah, fantastic lap there by Che. You don't lose it. You definitely do not lose it. I mean, luckily enough, I can say that from this season by winning Monaco. Some things you just always got to grip off. Obviously, it's nice to have the consistent racing, but Jay is just coming in and just showing everyone what he can do.
It gives me for the eye roll to mention again that you won Monaco. Give it a rest, let it go. Anyway, pushing off me, just insulting Pope for leaving me in the commentary box that one race, because I really wanted to commentate Monaco. So I wanted to suffer like me. So again, we've got a few more cars that's now waiting on both Williams cars, as well as BJ to come out the pits, and Badman is on his outlap here. The Badman, he had a fairly solid race last time out. Of course, came home, I think it was either 5th or 6th. But it was in a world of his own towards the end. I think tonight, Pope will want to try and push towards the leaders.
Batman has been consistently around that 6th spot this season. For a debut season, it is absolutely fantastic, and I cannot wait to see where Batman will end up. Hopefully next season, while everyone's settled down in these cars a bit more. But very, very impressed with Batman this season. Rookie of the year, definitely for me.
Well, as of right now, looking at his championship, he's fallen down the order a bit. He was as high as P4 at one stage of the season, very early on. He's now been surpassed already by Smoke and Cheese by 3 points in the standings. He's got 58 points from the first 11 races. So for a rookie, yeah, and given it in this league, which has always been very competitive, a very solid turnout for him. But I'm sure he'll want to try and continue and try and push for more as the season draws to its second half.
I feel like in the second half of the season as well, drivers become fatigued. It is a lot of races, and this year we have the most amount of races ever in the RDL. So it will be tiresome for these drivers especially. And though you're not physically there, you're mentally there. You have to put all the preparation in, and you have to go and do these races every single week, and it is massively tiring. So hopefully, and we do see this normally, where obscure drivers who may have been fighting lower down the pack do rise their way up near the end of the season.
Yeah, we see a number of drivers who we find that tracks often suit them towards the end. I think of Alvar in particular, who towards the end of the season really came alive. Remember, he led briefly at Kota last season and was in contention in the reverse grid finale in Brazil as well, if my memory is correct. Like, I could be thinking of the season before, but yeah, he's been very good towards the late stages. Have to see who can rise up this time around and take that mantle of best driver in the late season. 8 minutes to go in the session, still plenty of time for things to change. As the order currently sits, Che, Sniper, then Cheese, Lycon, Grumio, Shane, Curtis, PJ, JB, and Fan in 10th is now on his outlap on the soft tyres. Pope, where do you reckon he'll stack himself for the race?
I I'm not really too sure, to be honest. The field is very, very tight. I think from 12th down to 5th, it's 7/10. That's not a lot. That's not a lot at all. Obviously, we're at a short track here today at the Hungary ring, so you got to gain that time in a very small amount of corners. Not necessarily corners, but a small amount of track. So I'm not too sure. Where would you place him, Zach?
I'd definitely say inside the top half. If he puts it together, definitely, given how close it is, definitely inside the top 5. We'll get a better indication when he comes around for his next time lap. Because mediums put him there 1 minute 16.5. That's currently 1.2 seconds off the top. And you think how much faster the softs are than mediums, especially over 1 lap. So we'll see just where he stacks himself up. I could definitely see top half. Like I say, perhaps even top 5. So top quarter, we'll say.
Yeah, it's like I say, hard to tell, but see on the soft tyres now going through the final corner. We'll tune back in later on to see where that lap will end up. See Batman in P9. Grumio back on track now. He is not on a lap.
Oh, I see Dan's out.
He probably bailed out.
Tired,
and Dan is out. And so can Cheese.
Oh no, sorry, not yeah, Cheese. Sorry, Dan has just joined us. And he's in the house, but he hasn't chosen delivery. So we'll keep an eye out on him over the rest and let's see where he stacks up in the end. But yeah, Cheese is caught it in the pit lane, I think.
Odd decision there by Cheese. Maybe he believes he can't get anything further from that lap time, but Cheese is rapid. He's a very, very quick driver, so I'm a bit shocked by that choice, but it might pay off in the race. You never know.
Perhaps saving tyres maybe, because we saw him go for the two. He's the one guy who went for the 2-star with Silverstone last week. It just didn't work out for him in the end. Might be thinking the same thing at the Hungary ring. You never know.
Maybe that's a preparation. Maybe he knew he didn't have the pace at Silverstone, so we thought let's learn how to do this 2-stop to the best of its advantage. Odd decision, I cannot lie, but you never know. Hopefully we see Cheese fighting in the top. I mean, he was fantastic at Monaco when I raced. Obviously had an issue lap 1, but as we all know, the cream rises to the top, and that's what I won that race.
You need to stop, man. And BJ was up there with 4th. Shane's just taken him fan over the line. Now he was doing quite well. He was 7/10 up out of 6.2, but he invalidated the lap, so that's why he's still down in P13. So he's got some work to do in the last 5 minutes of the session, and he's got the tyres dialed in now. As Che goes fastest again, we're at 15.1 now. It's a few tenths on Sniper, who's invalidated himself as well. I see Grimmer down there in 9th place now. He's got a lot of work to do in this last section. I believe this is one of the races last season where he didn't take pole, because I think he crashed out at the end, if my memory is correct.
I think you are correct. One thing that I do know about Hungaroring is that the winners have won it from the back before. Like, there's people who start P14, P15 who somehow rise way to the top. This track provides so much entertainment and so much overtaking in a track which in real life it doesn't really provide that for us. But with how the game runs, it is so fun to drive. So the strategy always typically helps those further back as well, and the likelihood of a safety car here today is very high.
With that statement, I'm going to ask you now, where did you start in your season 12 win? Do you remember at all?
I'm not too sure, but if you give me a couple minutes, I'll just go and check the Zach RC channel, which you guys can subscribe to for free on YouTube. Fantastic, guys. So I'll go and check, and I'll come back to you on that.
All right, no worries. Thank you for the free plug. Che into the pit lane here at the end of his second run. He's got one more. BJ rejoins, and he realised he'd left to be fair. Oh, I see. Che got very close to losing on the exit of the corner going to the pits. But majority of cars in the pit lane now. Only Dan is still on the racetrack. And I see Ethan and Badman on the way out for out laps, and Lycon's out as well. So we're going towards the last runs of the session here. These guys probably go for longer runs on fresh sets of soft tyres to push through and see what they can make of it. Should be very exciting indeed, Pope, at the end of the qualifying.
Oh, that's so exciting. The last 3 minutes are the most nerve-wracking times, so I'm very excited to see what happens in this qualifying. A qualifying that means a lot to these drivers, because, especially like I say for Shane, who is in P3, which is absolutely crazy. That could change the whole second half of the season for them.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, the form turnaround could be absolutely incredible for some of these guys if things go their way. I see Websty's out in the racetrack there for his out lap course winner earlier on this season. Very nearly won last time out too. So we'll see how he handles the Hungary ring and what is a very nice Williams machine there, of course. Again, props to JB for these absolutely fantastic liveries, because we saw them last night before the racing started, but they look even better in game than they do on those pictures.
Yeah, no, the liveries are fantastic, so yeah, credits to JB on that. And it makes our lives a hell of a lot easier. For someone who's stepping into the commentary box for the first time this season, for a full season, near enough, it is very, very helpful.
Well, it's not quite a full season because someone chose to do Monaco instead of suffering with me. But anyway, we press on for that. Next season, you've got to promise me you do Monaco. I think you've got to.
I'll do it while I'm in the car as well. I'll do it while I'm in the car. Well, maybe not, because that's what broke my wheel.
Oh yeah, that was Spain. That was like ages ago now. Anyway, pushing on. Again, off topic for like the 16th time in this session. Getting towards the last runs then. Bad has gone off the line there. JB is going out turn number 2 and going towards the left-hander of 3. Down the hill he comes here. Got just over 2 minutes to go, so we're looking in the next minute or so for the last 2 guys start making their way out of the pits. So the top 4 also in the pits. Here comes Shane. Sniper out the pit lane here. Looking to put himself on pole once again this season. He's been very good in qualifying over the course of the championship. Grumio is out the pits as well. He's down there in P9 in Validator's last run. He's got work to do in his last stage of this session. And I see Websy coming in just behind Grumio now. So the champion has to move out of the way, and he does do that quite spectacularly in the exit of the right-hander. So here comes Websy then. We'll see where he stacks himself among the pack.
Exciting times nearing the end of qualifying, but like we were talking about, I figured out what position I started. It was P16 I started in my win. So qualifying does not matter. Though in 2021 the tie rules were a little bit different. It'll be the tie that you qualified in 2021, but he left in this session. Some drivers coming out very late on. They might not have enough time to set their laps.
I think Lucky and Lycon may not make it. Oh no, Lycon's coming in, so he's okay. Badman has finished his run, he's coming in. Fan is on his outlap. Ethan is still in the pit lane, so he's not moving. He's not going to make it out for any time for another run. Fergie starts his final lap, just there on your screen, and behind him one of the McLarens there. I believe that is PJ Khaled, who has just started his last run, or continued his last run. He was 3 times up, he improved that time. He's now in P8. Che, Shane, BJ, and Sniper, all on outlaps now. Here comes Sniper over the line. Start his last run. 40 seconds to go. BJ next car round. We're keeping on these guys coming in one after the other. And waiting on Che and Shane now. He should make it round in plenty good time. I was saying that it could be close for Shane here. But Che,
I think it is going to be very close for Shane. Tyres will be screaming by the end of the lap. But we can see following on with Sniper Hunter, seeing how he takes this very famous last hander. Obviously, we're in an incident with Felipe Massa. I'm going to spring over to Sky. Grumio to P2.
Front row, but not enough
to P2.
Can he take it?
Not enough pole. That is. I think that'll be his qualifying done. Just for that energy gone. Sniper Hunter did purple that sector 1, which is all important around this track. And we see a Mercedes off. I think that's BJ, who has had a spectacular crash there.
Can't quite see. I have to go over to Fan here to see if we can get a glimpse of it. Can't see it. Oh, he's gone off all over the circuit. Checker flag has now fallen. Session's over for BJ then. And next car through to the line will be, it looks like it'll be PJ Khaled who comes over the line. P9. Behind him it is then, looking at Fergie who's in the pit lane. His lap is over. Sniper is a 10th. Sorry, he's just under 2 tenths up. So he needs something bigger in this last sector, this last corner. Coming to the line. Let's see if he can put himself back on pole here in Hungary. He does just about do it by just over a 10th there. Che is yet to respond. He's 600 of a second up. He needs another 400 or so to get himself back on pole position. I see Curtis comes to the last score. He's a 10th up. Could put himself back into the top 5 towards the line. He comes. He's very close for the Alfa Romeo. Puts himself P6. Over the line here comes Fam in behind them towards the line. He goes into P4. Good quality for Mercedes. Che though, off the last corner, puts it onto pole. 1 minute 14.9. Fantastic lap at the end there. And Shane is down in sector number 2. Over the line, will be P5 for him here. And Courtney Goblin in there will be the last car through. But Che is on pole position. Fantastic end to qualifying. Then Che on pole. And again, looking to be the reserve thorn in the side of drivers like Sniper Hunter. So here we go. Here is your order. So Che on pole for the Grand Prix. Sniper in second, Grumio in third. It's Fan fourth, Shane in fifth, BJ sixth, Curtis in seventh, Websy 8th, Cheese in 9th, and PJ Khaled in 10th. So there's your top half. I'm back in a few minutes' time for the start. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Hungarian Grand Prix, round number 12, season 15 of the Racers Driving League Championship. Looking forward to what should be an absolutely fantastic Grand Prix as Hungary continues to produce for us season after season on each game. I'm your host, Zach RC. Alongside me is my co-contestant, Taxi Pope, who will be back in a moment before the start. We're getting ready for the formation lap here for what should be, as I say, very exciting. And we'll see who emerges on top. In terms of Drivers' Championship, Sniper Hunter leads Fan by 35 points after the win in Silverstone. TJ still sits in third place, but no sign on the grid tonight. BJ in fourth with an opportunity with the win, moving to third place. Curtis in fifth, PJ sixth, Websy seventh, JB eighth, Grimmo ninth, and Cheese in 10th place. Pope, I hear you coming back there. Welcome back to the stream. Looking forward to the race. Should be an absolute blast as it always is. Waiting here for the formation lap. Here we go. Let's get things underway. So Che and Sniper on the front row. So your starting tyres for the race. It looks like soft the tyre of choice, the C4 for the cars in the front row, and behind them it's quite an even keel in terms of split. So Fan, Lucky, and Cotley all on the hard tyres. I see Che, Sniper, BJ, Cheese, Lycon, and Bab on the soft, and everyone else Hope is on mediums.
Which will favour a lot more drivers and obviously can last a while. It's saying predicted for a one stop here, softs and mediums. I'm looking at that and the question that I don't think that will be the fastest strategy. I think we'll see a lot of two stops here today, especially with the likelihood of a safety car.
Fair enough. And with that in mind, if you had to give me a winner for the rest today, who would it
be? You know what? I'm going to go and say Che. I think Che will go and win this. Obviously, won't be taking the points, so I think the points will go to Sniper, but I think Che will be the winner here today.
I'm looking at Grimio to bounce back here and take away a win because he hasn't won in quite a while. It's his first. Last week was his first points since his last win in Australia in July. So he's getting himself back in it now. So we'll see how he stacks up compared to the other 18 drivers in the field. So we wait now on the grid for the 5 lights to come onto the grid. Here we go now. Lights are on here at the Hungary ring for 35 laps. It's the Hungarian Grand Prix. And it's lights out, foot to the floor, go, go, go. Decent getaway from both starters on the front row. I see a car making a move in the middle there. Fan takes away third from Grimio as they charge towards turn 1. Che is away. Sniper in second place. Fan might try the outside into the first corner. Grimio goes charging back inside. A bit of contact almost with his teammate there. Sniper stays in second place. Grimio looking for third. Once more, Fan. BJ just behind him. Two Mercedes side by side going towards turn number 3, trying to avoid contact. Fan around the outside takes away. Sorry, BJ takes away P4. Fan down to P5. 3 wide behind him. Alfa Romeo, and I see a Haas and a Red Bull 2 Dash Cheese, and I see car around, and that is Curtis in the lone Alfa Romeo. Around goes the car, and he is down to P18. A lot of work to do, a chaotic start, but Pope, Che in the lead.
Che, yeah, in the lead. That was very, very close between the two Alpines. I thought there was going to be a bit of contact there, but Grumio was on the stoppers just quick enough to make sure to risen. Now BJ into that P3 spot as well. BJ's had a fantastic start, up 3 positions. The biggest loser being Curtis by 11 with that spin.
Thank you, Pope, for doing my job for me in terms of position change. We always do that after a little while in the first lap, so fantastic stuff there. I see Cheese up the inside of Fan here. Fan is falling away on the start. Starting in P4, he's down to 6th place now. If Cheese can get the entry into left-hander. I see the Haas of Shane behind him, of course. Also lost place on the start, lost 2 places. Contact between Fan and Cheese here. 2 guys who have raced each other so much in the past. Shane on the inside of Fan on the exit. Can't quite stick his nose in. Down the main straight, then Che leads lap 1.
My biggest pet peeve is seeing the drivers drive on that day part of the track. Their tyres are going to be screaming. Is it worth it, guys? Is it worth it? You need to think about that before you do it. These guys are squabbling so hard. This is fantastic racing here in the RDL.
And Che and Sniper have winning all of that already. They're already quite a way in front here. 1 second separating Che from Sniper for more or less, and 9 tenths between Sniper and BJ. So the top 4 very spaced out here. Grimio in 4th place. He's get to work here on chasing down the 3rd place car. So past 1 Mercedes on the start. Now he's chasing the other one. And Cheese down in 5th place, up 4 spots. As you say, Pope the best gainer so far in his Grand Prix. And Curtis that spin 4 seconds back from Fergie there in 18th.
Yeah, Cheese had a fantastic start to this race. On those soft tyres, going to want to make the most of that, catch up to Grumio, get in a DRS, and use that to carry you forward.
Definitely. I'm going to go to your tyres now. So let's go. We went through the starting tyres on the formation lap. But there's a closer look for them on your left-hand side there. And probably say we're looking at mainly a 2-stop today. There's your possible race strategies on the bottom of your screen. We're looking at 2-stop today, you said?
I think 2-stop will be the fastest strategy. Who's that going wide? Is that Shane going wide?
Lycon and Shane.
Lycon, sorry.
Oh, that's close to contact.
Yeah, bit of squabbling there between those two. That's very, very tight stuff. That's really good racing though, to keep that all clean. But yeah, definitely 2-stop would be what I would go for in this race.
Fair enough. We'll see if that comes into light later on in the Grand Prix. JB disconnecting there. He's got problems here. Running in Peter. Both Ferraris at the point so far. Of course, Ferrari sitting in 5th place in the constructor standings. JB with a recent podium, if I remember is correct. He sits in 8th place in the Drivers' Championship as of right now. Lucky about a couple of tenths behind him. And DRS has been deployed for the first time in this race. We're on lap number 3 now. And Sniper's within 7 tenths, so he's within 1 second at the very least. So he's got work to do now to get around, shave the lead from the main straight. Will be his best bet as Fergie gets a penalty for corner cutting. And BJ has some work to do. Hope these guys squabble in front of him so he can close them back down again.
Yeah, it's not a surprise there to see a warning penalty being picked up. This track is so relentless on the track limit, so I'm not surprised.
Neither am I. I think we'll see a lot of those over the course of the race tonight. So Che leads then. Sniper almost out of DRS race now. He's got to get his skates on this next straight going into the final corner if he wants to keep the DRS. It's going to be very close there. I think he only just got it. Let's keep an eye out. He's just missed it. So no DRS for Sniper this time around. That allows Chase to try and build his lead a bit more. As Dan taking Lucky Lamb, of course, Dan, the one car in the field who forgot to change his livery. So we'll point him out for that. He's meant to be in the Haas, so his teammate there being Shane in P9. Speaking of Shane, it goes Batman to his outside into turn 1. Very close fight between these two. I see PJ getting involved as well. Into the corner we go. Batman in front. Shane falling away now. PJ and the DRS. Very tight battle, I hope.
Yeah, it's just fantastic. It's exactly what you want to see. You see PJ going around the outside. Off to 3, trying to keep it through. He does. Fantastic. Yellow flag further behind. It's the upper McLaren of Ethan. It looks like a big collision back there.
Ethan gets himself going again.
Oh, the driver's squabbling. And it's Lucky who is spun round on the exit turn 3. Not great for him. He's on the hard tyres as well. He's going to find it hard to get back into this race. But looking at further up the field as well, you've got Sniper Hunter who is on a little amount of DRS, 30% compared to Che's 70%. Shows you the pace that Che has. It's fantastic.
And that's natural pace. That's the thing. That there's no DRS, no ERS being used there, or not much at the very least in terms of battery. But Sniper doing all he can to stay with him. I think if Che was actually in the championship this season, he could be in for quite a fight with Sniper Hunter. Of course, Fan has pushed him pretty hard so far, but he's starting to fall back here on those hard tyres, because we've seen what he's like. He always goes to that hardest tyre he can on the start of the race before dropping into the softer ones later on. So we'll see what good that does him on a 2-stop. So we're 4 laps into the race here. I see Dan making a move on Shane here. So Shane, I believe, is disconnected from the session, so he's falling back under AI control. Grimio taking BJ into turn number 1. They're side by side through the first corner on the exit. Grimio around the outside, the champion, but he clears contact, and both cars off! 2 major blind, only a virtual safety car. Are you having a laugh?
There's debris in a car stricken all over that track. That needs to be upgraded to a safety car immediately.
Virtual safety car.
That was a crazy collision.
And the woe continues for the reigning champion Salve Grimio, who has another retirement kit to continue what has been by his standards quite frankly disastrous. BJ, no front wing on that car, continues on, but a scrap there. There's a game glitch. The safety car has been deployed, and just the leaderboard is wrong. I see it there at the exit of turn 1.
That's fantastic. It needs to be out there because that's a lot of debris on the track, which realistically favours massively. But a crazy collision. I would like to see the onboards of that incident, because there's the safety car sign just being displayed. But that's a crazy crash. Looking so clean and tidy, and it just looked like the wheels connected and into the barrier they went.
The wheels came off as well. So that's our first retiree of the race, down to 17 cars. As you said, Pope, safety cars are not a thing that shy away from the Hungary ring in particular. Here comes Shane to pit lane, then Sniper joining him. So I think these soft tyre runners, it's a godsend for them. They get to pit early on and get off them as quickly as they can. Not to worry about making green flag pit stops, which is helpful for them. That'll allow Fans to take the lead here, because he's on the hard tyre, so he can go a lot longer into the race in this first stint. I see Webster coming in too. So I think everyone except for these hard tyre runners will come in.
I'm very surprised by the medium tyre runners. Yeah, I'd be with JB here. I'd be staying out on those medium tyres. Obviously, it's not great to see, but great to see people come out the fresh same tyres, because you're going to likely fall behind. But For me personally, you need to stick out on those tyres and stick to your guns on your strategy. This safety car's come a little bit too early for those medium tyre runners to pit, in my opinion.
Fair enough. Are we still saying it's a route, a 2-stop from here, or do you think there needs to be a 3-stop perhaps thanks to the safety car?
I think it'll be 2-stop. I think it'll be medium from now on, and that will send everyone to their end of the race.
Well, sure, it's a bad man. He's gone to the soft tyre for this pit stop. So only 3 cars stayed out with that. Those cars being Shane, JB, and Fan. Where's he on the hard tyres? He's going to try and go as long as he can on those. Perhaps make a late stop for soft at the end. So I have to wait and see if he tries the 3-stop at the end. So you never know. Strategy for a lot of cars decided here. I think you're alright, probably medium to the end. Push the first set as long as you can, and probably the second set too. So there'll be a lot of the race could be won here by who manages those mediums the best, and whether or not Fan can try and put himself in front as best he can.
Yeah, I think Che is looking in the hot seat right now. You've obviously got JB and Shane to defend from Sniper, and JB and Shane will defend from Sniper, no doubt. For them, this is all about trap position. 5 laps at a time. Yeah. Yes, it's a lot, but not enough, in my opinion, for you to decide to let all these drivers through. They need to stick to their guns, and I think they will, and I think they will hold up Sniper Hunter for 1 or 2 laps, just giving Che that nice breathing room.
It should be a lot of fun for us to watch here. We get back underway in a lap or 2. So yeah, again, looking forward to that greatly here. So, and I see as well BJ back on the racetrack as well on medium tyres after repairing his front wing. Lucky still be in the race link, but.
Yeah, no, I was going to say that incident wiped off all his front wing as we saw. So I'm very, very shocked that he's still in the race, but obviously for that Mercedes team and for BJ themselves, they're going to be very happy and going to try and maximise this opportunity of being still in the race, unlike Grubio. No, not at all. Mercedes very well. Alpine struggling a little bit, mainly because one driver is not getting the required results, which is unexpected. I think we came into the season thinking Alpine were going to sweep completely for Constructors' Championship, but it's heating up into a very nice competition. And even though that you've got Steve Hunter, who arguably is taking a very comfortable lead in the championship, the Drivers' Championship, the Constructors' Championship will be really, really, really good to look at. I mean, how many points is it? It's 9 points between Mercedes and Alpine now?
I have to have a quick look here. The safety car's coming in, so I'm not sure. Yeah, yes, 9 points between the 2 teams here, so very close, and that'll only get closer with these guys up front here. So Fan and Sniper are the ones to keep their eye on, but Fan in particular, as he leads us back to the green flag. Che on the outside, trying to get a good run. When will Fan make his move? He tries to pull away and goes for it. Now he's away. Fan leads away from Sniper, from Che and JB. Sniper making a move on Shane already, going for P4 as they go towards turn number 1. We're back on the way here on lap number 8. Cheese to the inside as well. Double whammy for Shane into turn 1. Che up the inside of Fan, and that defense has not lasted long. Fan has been swallowed here by the field behind him. There goes Sniper on the right hand side, and JB looking as well. Going into turn 3, very close to contact between Sniper and Fan. The 2 title protagonists go head to head. Yellow flag behind them, and that is Curtis surrounding the Alfa Romeo, and that will not help their chance at all. End plate is gone on the Alfa, and I see behind them several cars going side by side. There's Shane and Cheese going towards the left-hander at turn 5 into 6 now. It looks like Cheese is in front by a car length and gets clear on the exit. Chaotic restart, but Che now in the lead. Sniper back to second, and Fan has fallen away. The gamble for him in the hards has not worked at all, Poke.
A bit of contact there between Websy and Lycon. It's like Monaco without the wall, so these drivers are making these fierce overtakes to make sure they have the track position. Very impressive restart there by Sniper, I do have to say. Capitalising on the restart, the poor restart there of Fan, who is dropped down to P3 with Che taking opposition and Sniper rising up the pack. Very, very, very good there by him.
Speaking of rising, well, BJ on the move. He's already up to P13. He's gained 4 places in this first lap. He could try and go for 5 here if he tried to take PJ in the last corner, but no chance. I see Dan's pit lane. He's got a bit of damage as well. There's a bit of contact there. Collision between him and PJ, I believe, in sector 2. So we've missed that, unfortunately, when in terms of talking about it. But regardless, Che leads up front. I see Sniper who's looking around there to the inside of JB, backed out of it, and almost ran onto the grass. So Shane might try and take him, but Cheese gets one on the exit. He'll try and take JB now on the inside, going towards turn 3. He's got the nose in front of the braking zone. He's in front on the entry, and on the exit, he's a can't go too clear. Fantastic move by Cheese. Take P4 to start chasing down Fan now for the 3rd place slot.
Yeah, BJ making that move on PJ into turn 1 as well. A fantastic dive to the inside, and now he's eyeing up the Williams of Courtney Goblin. Hopefully trying to get him by the end of this lap. BJ's done fantastic to regain the positions lost by that awful incident.
Keeping this up going indeed here. Curtis in the pit lane there because he also picked up damage on the restart, spinning out. And BJ, oh, he's disconnected. And that's not a good time for BJ to be disconnected from the session here. Could be in trouble in P11 there. Might lose some of those places he's gained them. Courtney Goblin might be able to see out as he pulls away as PJ tries to take it for P11.
Yeah, not good there for BJ at all. All that gain just to be halted by a disconnect. The server's really not provided him with any luck. 1 second now between Che and Sniper. Out that DRSO, this is very, very good for Che, who is still on 90% ERS, while Sniper is on 30. That is ridiculous.
Contact between Lucky and BJ for the back there as we go back up front to this race for the top spot. Cheese on the inside of Fan now going towards turn 1. They're going to go 3 abreast here into the first corner of the race for 4th place. Very close to contact between Shane and JB, and Lycon makes quick work of the pair of them here as Cheese and Fan duel into turn number 3. Here comes Lycon and Shane into the corner. Shane goes wide in the Haas. The Ferrari on his inside, the Williams and the other Red Bull looking to try and capitalise if they can. 5 different teams racing for P5. What a fantastic battle it has been. And Cheese in front of Fan now. He's on the podium. He's 4.2 seconds back from the 2 leaders, Sniper and Che.
Yeah, fantastic driving there by these drivers. They are staying in that dirty area as much as they can, trying to make that move. Lucky Lambert again, a 3-second time penalty. Not the first, and definitely will not be the last time penalty we are going to see by the end of these next 26 laps.
Let's get another one there.
That's perfect timing there. Perfect timing. That's a commentator's curse for Fergie time, who picks up another time penalty there. Not a great race for him so far.
They're in P14, so he's close to the points. We're going to say that those penalties might help him in the slightest. Ethan's right there behind him. Dan and Curtis, of course, further back here after the have to make their stops. And BJ is rejoined, but he's fallen away here. PJ and Lucky have both managed to get around him. And further up front here, I see Courtney Goblin and PJ going side by side for the final point on offer. PJ on the outside, fantastic exit on the high side. That McLaren looking upstairs and making the pass there on Courtney Goblin, who falls out the points. Let's get into back in the turn. The McLaren going towards turn 1. Very, very tight, but Courtney stays in line. And Sniper are back up front, half a second back from Chase, who's closing in with the help of the DRS. And Fan, meanwhile, is falling back. Lycon will be licking his lips and looking at his hit list, thinking, that's C110P Fan, he's next on my list. We'll go for him. As Websy takes JB for 7th behind them. And Badman looks to get involved too. 3-car race as Shane leads that little train. And Lycon and Fan are there in front. Cheese on the world of his own. And as you say, I said, the 2 leaders, Che and Sniper, continue to pull away here. 4.6 seconds between Sniper and Cheese.
Yeah, about 3 times gained by the leaders on that last lap. I do have to say, Lycon's a fantastic race this time here in Hungary ring. That AlphaTauri is flying through the corners here.
He's doing a brilliant job, but definitely, and he's closing on Fan. I dare say we'll keep an eye on here, Hippo, because we could be looking at a DRS overtake going into that right-hander at turn 1 a couple of corners' time. Batman passing JB in the race for P8. So good move from the rookie on the soft tyres, who don't have to make another stop. Perhaps even 2 at the end, towards the end of this race. Lycon, though, is half second back from Fan. We'll keep an eye on him here. A good exit. He could be in the money with DRS because Fan doesn't have his. And closing all the time now. Not going for overtake, and he's closing in, but will it be enough to go for a move into the corner? Very tight. He just misses out and might set up for turn 3 as Websley passes Shane there. And Badman around him as well. So Shane loses 2 places. And Lycon closing on Fan. Will he go for it here? He's going to try it. Perhaps around the outside if he gets enough to run. Into the corner of the AlphaTauri. Switching back over now to the left-hand side. Will he go back to the right over the curb? Yes, he goes up the inside. Oh, a bit of contact there. Bangs the wheel of Fan's Mercedes. Going into turn 5. This is Hamilton Alonso-esque driving from 2021. But it's Fan who keeps himself in front. Brilliant stuff. It's almost like deja vu. Swap the Alpine for... Sorry, swap the AlphaTauri for an Alpine and it's swapping the cars around. It's deja vu.
It is a very, very late move there by Fan, just to defend off Lycon. It was very well done. Lycon still eyeing it up, and will probably get fired on this next lap due to the tyres, but it's already been 6 laps on these medium tyres for these runners, so these laps are flying by.
Oh, it's Shane going wide there, running in P8 at the moment. Of course, I'd say fall back from both Websy and Badman here, so he's under a bit of pressure from soon to be Shane, who's only a couple of tenths behind him as well. He'll have DRS as it stands too. But Badman will be focused on trying to get Websy back while his tyres are still in good shape for the minute. Oh, I see a move being made here. Lycon now lining up on Fan. Goes inside, right by the wall there. Going towards turn 1. He's half a car clear on entry. And going into the corner, he's fully clear of Fan and into 4th place.
A little bit of lock up, so that does invite Fan to come back, but the exit is fantastic there by Lycon. So keeps that position. I'm just trying to have a quick gander on the steering wheels to see the tyre temps. Every single driver is in that 100-degree range. So just the optimal for most of these, but being 100 degrees on those hard tyres is a little bit concerning for when you jump onto the softer compounds. Those softs are going to heat up rapidly.
How you see? On the steering wheel. Okay, I was confused for a minute. I was thinking, you've got good vision then if you can see all the way through there, because I can't see it at all. JB, he's got a penalty there for multiple points. There's 3 seconds to his name. Still runs in P9, but we'll definitely lose those points as it stands. I think Ferrari will be losing out as it goes right now. Che has extended his lead. He is now 1 second clear of Sniper, so DRS not concerned from the minute. Fan is falling away from Lycon big time. He's got about 2 seconds to Websy as Badman goes wide. Badman goes wide like Shane did a lap ago. Courtney gobbling out the penalty as well. Everyone is getting him here so far.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not surprised at all. So it just kind of even out the playing field, especially lower down. But we saw last week's race be decided on penalties, so it's not what you want. I do have to say with this Ferrari team, some weeks they look absolutely on it and are fantastic, but this race weekend so far is just not really shaping up to be favourable for their car.
Definitely not. I mean, Masters feels like this F1 wild car not quite there Ferrari they used to. PJ at the inside of one of those Ferraris. And into turn 1 looks at P9 and takes it, but Fan might try and switch, sorry, JB might try and switch back going through turn 2. No chance, keeps it in line. Has to wait to have another go at PJ. Try and get that point back if he can. And speaking of J's, BJ is on the fight back. He's got this guy, Lucky Lambert. He's now chasing down JB for position number 10. He'll have it with a penalty too.
Yeah, see Fergie time pitting right now for a first share of hard tyres that will be seeing them to the end of the race.
I start thinking about that second stop now, Pope, because we're getting towards that stage. Because it's been 8 or 9 laps since we got the safety car restart, so a few more laps. I dare say we're looking at green flag stops. I'm thinking lap 17 to lap 20 sort of vibes.
Yep, I'd probably agree with you there. Maybe a little bit longer because these drivers will be taking these tyres as far as they can go, because that's how you gain the most time at a Hungary rig.
Shane making moves here. JB, oh, a bit of contact there between Shane and JB. I'm not sure if I've seen any damage on anyone's car here. I think everyone's okay. Oh, no, sorry, no end plate on JB's Ferrari, and that's a problem for him. In he comes. And with the penalty, that won't help his case at all here. Lucky Lambert will assume his place in this 4-car train fighting position. PJ closing on Shane here. Looks to the outside, going towards turn 1. BJ to the points, got to go translate both of them here. 3 wide into the corner. BJ into turn 1 and up into P8. Unless PJ can switch back, he can switch back. Side by side, the McLaren and Mercedes into turn number 3. This is P Guardiel here as they make their way towards the corner into the braking zone. BJ in front, but PJ is still there with him as Cheese gets the penalty now in 3rd place. Around the outside goes BJ into 8th place, and Lucky holds off Shane in the race for P10. So Shane has lost a lot of spots here.
That's the issue when the train racing appears, especially around the circuit. You lose all the positions in one fell swoop, especially when you don't have the DRS. I do have to say, PJ with a near spectacular switchback move there on BJ, within inches from the front wing to the gearbox. It was fantastic, but these guys are doing absolutely brilliant right now, and I like to say, peak RDL, this racing's fantastic. You see Badman go wide, those soft tyres are going to be burning up right now.
Getting to the point where he's looking at a second stop, might have to go for those hard tyres to get to the end of the Grand Prix. If Fergie can make it, I'd definitely say Badman can, given it's a lap later. So we'll see what he chooses to do in the next couple of laps or so. He'll probably try to go as long as he can on the softs to try and push me into the final stop, but I think hard's probably will be the more viable choice. Down the main straight, then everyone quite split up. We saw Cheese get a penalty there. So that's 3 seconds. Here's your penalties on the left-hand side of your screen. So Cheese, Lucky, Connie, and JB all have 3 seconds, and Fergie has 6, having just made that stop.
Yeah, Lycon is even putting the pressure on Cheese now. I think Lycon is in the chance for a podium here. He is looking absolutely rapid here at the Hungaroring.
Definitely, with Cheese's penalty, that puts him in the position already. So he's 20 laps away from stealing a podium in RDL, which will be his first of the season, which is always good to see. It's always good to see a new face up in the top 3, even when it's one of the reserves, such as Che, who of course we've seen on the podium this season a few times. He's been the reserve dark horse of the season. When he showed up, he's fought for it, and he's done an absolutely fantastic job, and he's been a real thorn in the side to Sniper Hunter, who'll end up with the points for the win, just to be the highest placing full-time driver.
Yeah, I have to say the reserves this season have been fantastic. I mean, I look at Imola with the 2 reserves. I think it was that Touch Me Pope guy and Che, who got both P1, P2. Obviously, the race didn't really fall well to Pope, but Che did fantastic there. And then you've also seen the reserve take the Monaco win as well. So the reserves have been really, really good this season.
You mentioned that Monaco stream more times, I think, in this race than you have the rest of the season. So, if the viewers are right with it, then I won't object. But from my end, I'm half waiting for you to pack it in, to be honest. I'm waiting for next season so you can stop talking about it. Until the next Monaco, when you say I'm the reigning winner, because I know what you're like. Anyway.
Whoa! Big collision! Big collision!
Shane
and Ethan
on the main straight. Oh, that's a nasty looking shunt off the last corner for Shane, who finds that the second retiree of the race in the safety car has been deployed. Says VSC. I can see the Mercedes safety car in turn 1. And a second retiree Pope with another 2-car collision in the first sector.
So another safety car, all these drivers going to peel into the pits now. A very similar incident where the tyre just seems connected and drags you into a wall. That was a nasty looking incident there for Shane, who sadly DNF, but Ethan still in this race, so can still gain some points out of this. But like I said, all these drivers will be peeling into the pits to get on fresh rubber.
Definitely, of course. Plus, these guys are reaching the point where they'll be looking at their next stops anyway. And Fan, I dare say, is in good position now because obviously didn't make the first stop. If he'd been better on the restart, then I dare say he could have been in a better shout. But of course, he's been on his hard for the whole race so far, so I think it'll be a good sort of time to go to the pit lane now. We'll see what Che does. Che is coming in. Cheese a penalty for speeding on the safety car. That's a drive-through for him. The race has fallen apart for Cheese in the second break in a row.
Lycon's eyes lit up with gold there, even saw it from the commentary box. They were that wide. That is perfect news there for Lycon. Obviously, Cheese cannot serve this drive-through under the safety car. That's a rule here in the Formula 1 where a drive-through penalty cannot be served on the safety car. So they will, Cheese will have to make that departure into the pit lane once we are back onto the green flag running. So that is setting him down by another 25 seconds, which is not what Cheese wanted. But Cheese got the pace to come back through the field.
He made another safety car or two to get himself back up into a place as high as this, though. So Cheese on hard tyres, so he's planning to go to the end, I think, regardless if we get on a safety car or not. So, because track position is not a thing to him anymore, so he's got to hope he can get himself back in the order. BJ making a front wing change here, and I think, sorry, no, I thought I was about to say Family. Soft tyres on BJ's car. And that is a confusing call for me, Pope. We've got still half the race to go.
Yeah, I don't believe that was his call. I would expect that to be the game messing up a little bit. I think soft tyres is a shot in the foot there for BJ, who did so well to recover all those positions after that incident with Grumio. I feel like he's thrown it all away, but now I mean, another safety car and he's going to gain a hell of a lot of time if so.
You never know, because we've seen the crash that appeared out of nowhere in the last, in both safety cars here. Che leads Sniper, then Cheese in third with that drive-through. Lycon taking in third. That put Fans in fourth and Websy in fifth. So number of good cars, but we can still start the podium at the end of the day.
Yeah, no, I don't think any of the podium positions are taken, maybe apart from the top two, who have done fantastic so far this race. Cannot deny that, but I'd love to see Lycon on that podium, who has drove absolutely brilliantly today.
Definitely, look forward to seeing if he can pull it off towards the end of the race. Of course, Pope, you've been in this situation a few times. What is the key to winning under late on in a safety car?
Drive fast. No, obviously, I won the season 12 race after a safety car. I was lucky enough to have soft tyres on anyway, and I just stuck with them. It's all about car placement. I think it goes very much unnoticed. We have to remember these cars have got smaller, less draggy, so if you're behind a car you can follow the car compared to those 2021 cars where it was so hard to keep the tyres in a nice range behind another car. So for me personally, it's all about the car placement, making sure you're getting enough clean air over the front of your car, cooling down those tyres, but not enough to where you leave yourself vulnerable. That's what I would say.
Fair enough. Of course, we know this advice is effective given that you've won this race before, as you've mentioned several times so far tonight. And would you say, in terms of the safety car, especially later on, with like 2 or 3 laps to go, is the case of keeping your head as well?
Oh, massively. It's very easy to lose your head, especially in the position where I was. I was P2 behind Grumio, who was on very worn tyres. We do have to admit that. But obviously Grumio was fantastic that season. Won the championship. Was absolutely rapid. Or was it Landlord that season?
You're incorrect, sir. It
My
was
mistake.
Landlord who won it, yeah.
Yeah. One of those two. They were still competing for the title anyway. That team was unbelievable. So, keep your head. Make sure you calm yourself. The nerves do come. The nerves will come before the race. The nerves of during the race, and the nerves are near the end of the race. Keep the nerves to the minimum and just push as much as you can, but not too much. Don't give it 110% because you'll lose your head. Give it that 95% and you'll be fine and dandy, trust me.
Good advice then from the former champion of the series. And I dare say we get back to the racing this time. Let's wait and see here, Pope.
Yep, safety car is in this lap, which is the most nicest thing to see on your screen, because driving on the safety car is just boring. We're F1 fans, we're F1 drivers. We want to be going 200 miles an hour down that straight rather than 60 miles an hour around the corner.
Hey, we make a good time of it up here in the comments box, to be honest. I think we have fun times on the safety car.
We have very fun on the safety car. Yeah,
we have very fun. We have very fun, do we?
Yeah, we are. Very fun. Yeah, very fun.
Okay, right. I'll excuse your English. Right, Che leads Sniper then. We'll see how Che responds to the restart this time. Off the last corner. Oh, we're still backing up there. And now he's going for it, and he's left Sniper for dead there, and left Cheese all over him here on the outside as he goes to turn 1. Going into that first corner. The championship leader now has Cheese to his inside, doesn't quite go for it. There goes Lycon underneath. Doesn't need to go for it, he needs to wait for Cheese to have that drive through. I think pretty said this lap. BJ into the points here, passing Courtney Goblin side by side with Lucky Lambert, going towards turn 3, and Batman covering off Websy for P6. BJ into P9 now, but Che leads away, but Sniper with him as well now.
Yeah, it looks like these cars' tyres are not fully heated. The cars are slipping and sliding through every single corner. The driver's so on edge, it shows you the skill that these guys have. But like you say, Lycon does not need to go for that move, but he still does it anyway. Lycon showing his fantastic pace over the inside of Smoking Cheese. What a move.
Brilliant stuff from Lycon, and I dare say if he can get a chance to it, he can start trying to chase down the 2 leaders, as he's now got no cars in the way. Just clean air from him as he tries to chase the Alpine, the Aston Martin. 2 drivers have been very strong all day. They've been in the class of the field throughout the race. Either one of them deserves to win this one, and I'm hoping they don't end up in a collision like we just saw in with Grumio, BJ, and then with Shane and Ethan, which would be gut-wrenching for the pair of them, if I do say so. Oh, Batman passing Websy. Several cars, so he's going for a bit of a scuffle here. BJ to the inside of Batman, and he's almost around. Saves the Mercedes, only just. And as Websy all over him, has to force him to the curbs a bit there. Pope, I can hear you excelling. It's a scary moment for everyone involved here. Websy at the last corner loses out. I see Cheese in for his drive-through there, so that'll put him down to the end of the field. And I see Dan in as well. And a 5-second penalty for speeding the pits.
That was 5 second. Oh, it's not what you want to have for Dan, who has just not had a great race so far. Yeah, my heart was in my mouth there. Saw Websy push Badman round on the exit of the corner, then BJ nailed spin round. It's been absolutely crazy. Another 10 penalty there for Courtney Goblin. This is just absolutely mental.
Fantastic stuff here as BJ continues his charge towards the leaders. I dare say he pretty could beat Fan if he gets his skates on in the second half. He's got just over 14.5 laps to go in this race. Che leads Sniper is put out to a massive advantage here. 1.2 seconds to another 1.1 back to Lycon. Another second to Fan. So the top 4 really split, but Batman is looking to pose a threat behind him. Even he's still a second back, and BJ is 4/10 off of 5th. So the top 5, sorry, all very spread out, Pope.
Yeah,
yellow flag.
It's been a bit mental. Ooh, who is that? Is that Smokey?
It's Dan. It's
I don't know who that is. Oh, it's Dan. Sorry, retiring. Yeah. Oh.
Seriously, that's a safety car, but this is a but they almost tried to put a virtue earlier.
A little bit confused there. Oh, Sniper going into the pits. This is where it gets tasty. Split strategy here now. Is Sniper thinking about going on those soft tyres? In my opinion, they won't last. I think that's a very risky call there, and you're going to lose so many positions as well.
He's going for it.
Sniper might have made a bad call here. Just my opinion, though. Hopefully you can prove me wrong.
Well, we've said in the past that that Hungary in this league especially is all about drivers who are on top at some stage of the season, and or being dominant, and then this track brings an end to it. It's circuits like this we've always seen been a thorn for these guys. And that moves Lycon into second place now.
Lycon, who I have to say has drove unbelievably today. My driver of the day so far.
Definitely, he's done a brilliant.
Gained 9 positions as well. 9 positions. Oh. That's mental.
Let's have a look at the rest of the changes here in terms of positions across the board. So the driver is lost out the most now. It's Sniper is down 12. Cheese is down 6 as of right now. And Lycon and Badman have both gained 9 places each. Cottley Goblin's gained 7. BJ has gained 1, but he's definitely part of the most overtakes of the day, I think. Webbs has gained 2, PJ's gained 3. So
yeah,
majority of high starters here have got places.
Honestly, mate, this has been a fantastic race. I do have to say, I'm not surprised here in the LEL, but the way that the drivers have gone around these changing circumstances with, like I was saying as well, the second half of the season, it does tend to drivers who don't typically get on the podium that often. And we see that here today with Lycon, who is provided excellent racing for us, an excellent pace, and they should be very proud of themselves.
Definitely. We've got probably about a lap or so to be back on the way from the safety car, and there'll be 12 laps to go and we get the green flag. So Pope, what do you need here for a shootout?
Yeah, 12 laps to go. Yeah, 12 laps to go. I think Che will kind of run away with it now. Sniper not reeling him back into the pack. I think it's Che's to lose. But I think from second downwards, we are going to see a tussle. An absolute tussle. I am here all for it.
Several
Makes me
cars
want
in.
to sing.
Curtis has been in the pits. Cotney Goblin is in. Cheese is making a change onto mediums. Have a look at your tyres now. So softs for Cotney and Curtis, and mediums for Cheese. Then, so I think he should be safe for the end without doubt. But again, as we said a minute ago, Sniper is the big question here. Soft tyres that early on in the race, especially looking for a late race charge. It has to be banking on another safety car, perhaps.
I mean, like we were saying, we saw the soft tyres be fantastic for the first 6-7 laps, and then it died instantly. This is what happens around this track. The tyres drop so rapidly, you don't expect it. Sometimes, and I would like to say myself, I was pretty good at keeping them falling off at a slower rate than other drivers. I think that's why I did better here than probably most other tracks where I couldn't do that. But I was very decent at this track. These tracks are the circuits that I like, the tight, narrow ones, Monaco, Hungary, etc., etc. Did I also mention that I did win the Monaco race this season? So there it is. Bash!
He doesn't miss a chance.
I don't miss it, not at all. I just think it's going to be too long.
So you plug your wins in these streams more than I plug my YouTube channel in these streams. Speaking of which, if you guys are new to the audio, make sure to get subscribed as the safety car comes in this lap. And you've got a few seconds to hit that button, which is completely free and makes my day before we get back on the way.
Makes my day as well. It means you can pay me to be here.
I'm never paying you. That's never going to happen. Talk to JB. If I'm not getting paid, then you're not getting paid either. Also, you're employed by the league, not by me. That's the other thing. Anyway, we're off topic. Right, Che, Lycon fan, that's your top 3 right now. And there's 12 laps to go. Mediums and all these guys, but half war mediums. And Badman is itching to go, and he wants it right away. Che is gone. Lycon is following him second. And Badman now looks like a move on fan, but BJ might go 3 abreast, perhaps even 4 abreast. And some Websy to the inside, into the first corner. They're late on the brakes. This can't work, surely not. Everyone through unscathed somehow. Lucky goes white, yellow flag. And now a sniper onto a round. And Fergie and Curtis, the 3 pit stoppers. Apart from G, sorry. Sniper, the champion lead, is just sitting there at turn 1.
I think Sniper might have an issue with the wheel as they are rejoining back the circuit. Curtis has had a torrid time at these restarts in this race. The first lap, the first safety car restart, and the second safety car restart, always spinning around. That is completely ruled out Sniper Hunter from winning this race. This is Chase to lose, but Lycon is only 8 tenths behind BJ on those 6-lap-old softs. Keeping it there. Maybe one more safety car and their race will be turned completely around. But at this point, I think it is Chase to lose.
And he's already put out the 1 second. He's almost put out 1 second advance as well. It's purple 62 for him. Fantastic stuff. There's Lycon. I think even more than Zach was second place given how his season's gone so far. AlphaTauri 8th place in the constructors. So good, a couple more points. Haas sitting dead last. Aston Martin have nicked some points in the last 4 races, but course, chase points here won't count. And Lycon will be given the full 25 for the win as he's full time. Should he finish in second place?
That would be fantastic for the AlphaTauri team. Like say, sitting 8th in Constructors Championship, sorry. Right now, all the points matter. We saw how tight the battle for the Constructors was last year from the top of the grid to the bottom of the grid. So, every single point matters. It shows you how competitive we are here.
And even with the changing drivers and the random teammates, it still is very, very close every season. I think that's the reverse grid finale last season in Brazil when we had AlphaTauri, Williams, and I think it was Alfa Romeo, all fighting to not finish bottom of the table. Bam with a penalty there, 3 seconds to multiple warnings, so he's the highest driver right now to have a penalty to his name. Of course, top 5 all without them. Fan there in P5, since those hard tyres, and since that safety car restart, it seems like he's just sort of been absent from the race. He's just sort of just been there. Hasn't really been able to make many moves, but perhaps in the late stage, his final 10 laps, Pope, who could see him go for it here as he looks to make a move from Websy.
Yeah, Fan eyeing Websy up, obviously having that more ERS. But look how light on the brakes that Mercedes is. That is ridiculous, I do have to say. That is something that I'm going to look at from Fans Racing. That was extremely light on the brakes. Very reminiscent of Daniel Ricciardo.
Definitely, of course. Ricciardo, I don't believe he ever won here before. Actually, no, I'm sorry. I believe he did 2014, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, Fan
2014, yeah, he did win.
Fan is closing the gap on Websy, but it should be a lot easier next time round when the DRS is deployed. So we'll see what goes down there. Speaking of DRS, Che doesn't have to worry. He's 1.2 clear of Lycon, and BJ there in third, only just in range for the AlphaTauri. Those soft tyres will start to hit the cliff, no doubt. As you said, Pope, he's on for 8 laps now. Should they be starting to hit the cliff?
I think it must be starting to hit the cliff now. This is the last little push here by BJ to stay in that DRS. Maybe 1 or 2 more laps. Bear in mind, we've had a couple of safety cars with BJ on those softs, so they will last a little bit longer than expected. However, still not long enough.
So I have to see here in the last 10 laps, see just about where he ends up at the checkered flag, and whether he chooses to stop again. The Sniper is back fighting with Fergie. Oh, close to contact. Fergie off in the grass. And both cars going wide there. A Sniper with the penalty. I think that more or less sounds like yellow flag, and that is just Fergie getting back onto the racetrack. No damage to either one of them, luckily. But big collision we just managed to catch on camera there. Che leads Lycon by a second
great
and a
news
half.
for them.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah, great news for them both not having damage, but like you were saying, it's something about Hungary and Ariel where the person you'd expect to win just doesn't always seem to get it.
BJ closing the gap here to Lycon in P2. He's got DRS to his name once again here and chasing that second spot down. And this is for the 25 points to secure the win. 2 full-time drivers going for a yellow flag. And who is that at turn number 1? It looks like it's Smoking Cheese around. He recovers it nice and easy. Oh, almost loses it again. I dare say points are still could be on the cards when he gets his act together in the last few laps. But a tough break from that could put him even further behind.
Yeah, Smoking Cheese and that Red Bull is just not forward. His curse spinning around there at the exit of turn 3.
Oh,
those tyres going to be completely off. That's a damage. Yeah, and that is Smoking Cheese out of the race.
Well.
Oh, so yeah, wait for that. That is not great there for Smoking Cheese. It's so hard to keep the tyres back into their right window once they've spun up, and looks like Cheese is just sat there. Not too sure what's going on there.
He's about to attack on the race.
Anywho.
I'm hoping they're going to get a safety car because of it. For a stop car on track. He should be recovering it in a second. Have to wait and see. Oh, no. Disqualified. Parked in a dangerous location. Perhaps something going wrong with his wheel. But he's out.
Maybe so. Maybe that's what the incidents are doing. This last update did kind of mess up this game a little bit. So
don't we know it? That's why I'm driving these cars. Speaking of these cars, I see Fan here's going for a move on Websy. Looking to the inside for turn 1. Looking for P4. There he goes underneath. That was so close to wiping out BJ in front. That was a real tongue-in-mouth moment? That makes no sense. He recovers it, stays in P5, but Batman is now closing the gap, and behind him I see Lucky Lambert and PJ fighting for 7th place. But Fan, you were so close to breaking the most sacred rule in motorsport, which is don't crash into your teammate. And I don't think BJ would have been too happy if he'd side-typed him into turn 1 there, mate.
Yeah, I don't think BJ would have even expected it. That was such a late move there by Fan. Taking what I say, breaking extremely late, but that was just that little bit too late there for Fan. This race is going down as a classic right now with some crazy moves, some crazy incidents, and maybe a crazy person taking all 25 points Lycon in the AlphaTauri. You would never expect that.
You don't call my boy Lycon crazy again, alright? Regardless,
I love Lycon. I love Lycon, but it's just crazy in terms of P8 in the Constructors Championships. What has Alpine fed him?
I don't know. I don't know what they put in the Weetabix this morning.
Alpine, AlphaTauri.
He's 12th place in the standings as it stands right now. Have a look here. He's got a total of 34 points. He's had a solid season, but this win will help him massively. But Che, of course, we're looking to come in with the actual win on track. He's 2.2 clear on lap 29, and Websy is looking at 15 points, but looking to take BJ for P3 as Fan falls away here to be challenged by Batman potentially in the next few laps or so.
Yeah, these drivers' tyres will start faltering a little bit. You can see that massively on those soft tyres of BJ. Websy reeling them in.
Oh,
round the outside. Oh my lord.
It's close between them. They give each other room. That's the crucial thing through turn 6.
Down the inside. Fantastic. Beautiful driving. Beautiful driving. And that is P3. That is 15 points on track there for Websy.
And 18
points with missing Che, and now the Mercedes are going to be fighting each other. Will the team orders be in play, or will they just squabble to the end of this race? I'd like to see the latter.
We're getting flashbacks here to Japan just a few days ago, just yesterday morning, as BJ now has Fan coming out from the outside, and on the inside for the left-hander, and Fan pulls in front. Quite a fantastic move there. And I think that'll be the end of the matter point because of BJ's 11 lap old soft tyres, which I think he's going to try and carry to the end here, I
think. Not too long ago, I got my first puncture, I think, ever in a league race, and that was at Qatar. And I think we might be seeing the same here for BJ. These tyres look absolutely shot.
Oh yeah, I streamed that race, didn't I? That was too well.
You did, yeah, you did, yeah.
You guys can watch that if you subscribe. There we go, another one there. Fantastic. Batman passing BJ here, yep. As I say here, BJ, those soft tyres are done completely, and he's falling away as a result. I think he'd be lucky if he can still keep it in the points.
Yeah, massively. I think, look at this train though, from Badman to, I think that's Cottony at the end of this train. Look how close these cars are. Last 5 laps, guys. This could be fantastic.
Unless we get a safety car on that, and that gives us just 2 laps of hard, fast racing action to check a flag. Let's wait and see if anyone slips up, especially keep an eye on BJ, who if he pushes it too hard on those soft tyres, he could spin out, and that could cause everything to go awry for the pack. Or if he's too aggressive trying to defend from Lucky Lambert here in the Ferrari behind him. Of course, Ferrari have dragged it back to a yellow flag. Whoa! That's Batman! And what could that mean? Could that be the safety car we're looking for? It's not.
Have we found what we're looking for? I'm surprised that's not a safety car. Badman, who drove so well this race, losing the grip. He's been going wide of that corner all race long and just sliding into that barrier, that arm cut, putting him in across the track. They are thankful there was no one closer to Badman because that would have wiped them out as well.
Anyway, any more cars in that crash, there would have been a safety car and Che's lead would have been wiped out. I dare say we would have seen someone gone to the soft tyres for the end of the race. That could have been a very exciting finish. We could have been denied of their point, but regardless, though, we're waiting. Yellow flag, Lucky Lambert in turn 1. No damage done to the car. He keeps it going and recovers in P11. But Ethan back in the points now.
These guys have been absolutely pushing it tooth and nail. But someone I have to say is done fantastic. Curtis, P8, P9, sorry, P9.
He's recovered it, yeah. He's kept himself clean aside from the restarts, and he's back up there now.
It's fantastic racing there by Curtis, and obviously moving up positions with reserves being wiped out and penalties as well being applied.
Definitely. One driver I do look at here is Fan, who of course sits in 4th place right now, but will be 3rd with the points applied. So that's 15 points his game, which means he closed the gap to 20 on Snipe Hunter, which is back within 1 race wins range. If he can try to take Websy before the end, that'll put him on to 3 more points, which will bring the gap down to 17. So the championship gap closing down because Sniper's not scoring right now. That's the crucial thing. So if something goes wrong for these guys in front, then Fan could be in the money.
Fan and the Mercedes team in general are going to be rubbing their hands together. P4 and P5 constructors, they will take the lead of the constructors. Fan closing that gap into Sniper. This has gone completely Mercedes' way at the Hungary rig.
We're used to seeing that over the last couple of years. I think back to the most recent being they've had a pole here the last 2 years in real life F1, and they've obviously victories prior to that. The last one coming from 2020, if my stats are correct in my stato mind. But anyway, though, continuing on here, a few more laps to go, 3.5 left, and Che, of course, we haven't seen him much, but he's on for a fantastic victory here. He's led pretty much almost the entire way so far. The only point he wasn't leading was when Fan under the first safety car, and even then he took the lead back at turn 1. So Che has been an absolute rocket ship in the Aston Martin, and it shows. He's on course to pick up another win as a reserve.
Yeah, Che, once again, showing the reserves are still here to play. Remember, most of these reserves are ex-drivers here, full-time ex-drivers. Seen Landlord, myself, Che. So, obviously, we know what pace they can give, but it's still very, very impressive nonetheless.
Definitely. 3 more laps to go in this Hungarian Grand Prix, and it looks like Che is on for the victory here. Lycon in second place, on course to seal 25 points for his Drivers' Championship. Websy now has Fan right on his gearbox, closing all the time here. Shouldn't be enough to go for a move this time, so Fan will hold it off into turn 1. We may see him go for it on the next lap. If something goes wrong for Lycon, then it could be Fan's win in terms of points to try and gain here. JB passing PJ. They go way wide there in the Ferrari into turn 1. On the exit, PJ is back in front. Ferrari v McLaren is 2007, 2008 all over again. And Connie Golan trying to get involved as well in the Williams. Oh, we're very close to contact. A bit late on the brakes there. And a lot of worn tyres now, guys. Really facing us in the late stages of this Grand Prix. I'll be hoping that no one's crashed at the end. A Snipe Hunter is in 12th place there, so no points from today. And it looks like Fan taking big advantage of that. But as Pope said a moment ago, Mercedes take the lead in the Constructors' Championship, things say how they are. And BJ's doing a fantastic job here, keeping it 3.5 seconds to the cars behind him. Those being PJ and JB have been fighting tooth and nail the last couple of laps or so. But keep an eye now on Fan in the Mercedes, who'll be looking to try and take that podium place on track, as well as taking second place in the points. Into the last couple of corners they come then. And looking. Fan is waiting for that chance. Che about to cross the line here. 2 more laps to go for him. And we'll watch Fan go for it, potentially at this last corner. DRS deployed. It's closing the gap now. Websy moves to break the toe, but Fan following him here and closing all the time. Again, not close enough yet to go for it into turn 1. So Fan then will keep it in line and wait for an opportunity, but he hasn't got long left. There's about a lap and a half to go in this Grand Prix. So he's got to try, if he wants those extra points, he needs to take Websy now and hold him off in the last lap. Or take him as late as he can, potentially. Let's wait and see. As Che up front heads for victory here. 4 seconds to the good over Lycon. And Websy in 3rd. And Fan still in 4th. BJ still 5th. PJ holding off JB for 6th. Connie Goblin in 8th. Curtis Shepherd, again, as Pope said a moment ago, looking for some fantastic points in P9 after a race he's had. And Ethan, after the crash with Shane earlier on, put himself in the points as well. 2.5 seconds clear of Lucky Lambert. Sniper there in 12th. And Fergie completes your order. He's been alone for quite a lot of the race here.
Che now with a 3.5 second gap. Oh, sliding through the penultimate corner there. That's not great. And I think that Lycon might have had a little bit of an issue coming through the same corner. And the tyres dying off here. 16 laps in on these medium tyres. They will be screaming in pain.
Definitely. They're going to hold up for one more lap now, Pope, because as Che starts the 35th and last lap of this Hungarian Grand Prix. It's going to be Fan's last chance to try and nab P3, sorry, into turn 1. Looking to the outside, looking for a good exit if he can get one, but Websy holds his line. Fan with a bit of a skid there. I think Websy's got P3 secure in these late stages, but Fan will be pushing him to the absolute death to try and get himself in front. So let's keep an eye on this fight here as Che heads to victory. And BJ behind them is safer from PJ and JB. A lot of J's here. Having the points pay in place. It's Fan looking here, waiting for a chance to try and strike. If he can do so in the late stages of this Grand Prix, try and snatch Websy's place at the death, try and get those more points. As Mercedes looks to take the lead in the constructors, as Che though is coming towards the final sector to head for Pope, what has been an absolutely dominant victory.
Yeah, Che has, I think, led every single lap this race, if I'm correct.
More or less, yeah.
And qualified P1.
And qualified P1. And if I'm going to have a check here as well of this, I'm pretty sure as well, we're looking at a full sweep as Che again. Bit of a skid there. Being on the throw a bit too much, but he's okay. He's taken 17 lap old mediums to the end, made the 2-stop work, as you said, Pope. And now he's rounding the final corner, take him another win in season 15. It's the reserve Che, who once again wins here in Hungary. Lycon, home in second for the full 25 points for him. That'll be fantastic for AlphaTauri. Websy beats Fan for 3rd. BJ home in 5th in the end. And PJ narrowly beating JB to the finishing line in P6. Connie Golan home in 8th. We'll lose a lot of places penalties. Curtis, after the race, he's had P7 yellow flag That sniper going slowly here. I think he's had enough at this point. 20. Where's he got 24 seconds of penalties from?
Not too sure. But that is completely wiped everything out for Sniper Hunter, and that'll be a long night in the student's office trying to figure out where exactly every single one of those penalties are from.
Well, quite a race here. So fantastic finish then. Che wins it, and Websy just holds off Fan. He's practically pushing him there in the first sector. Really gave him a run for his money, but Websy held on. Lycon and Websy finishing first and second is a combination that I didn't think I'd expect today. We've got it. Lycon takes full points, but Che, his performance coming on understated. He's the winner, and you've got to feel the way for Sniper Hunter after the race he had, especially earlier on. He definitely deserves at least some points today.
Yeah, Sniper Hunter was the unfortunate victim in that race, where some things just don't fall your way. I've had that this season at Imola, so I understand how it feels, and it is obviously such a shame for Sniper Hunter, but nonetheless, the other podium sitters, so of Che, Lycon and Websy, drove fantastically and deserve it just as much.
Lycon did your provisional winner, but Che is on top here in Hungary. It's been a fantastic Grand Prix to watch. Hope you guys enjoyed it as much as we did. As the celebrations begin, so we'll get some post-race interviews underway. I'm not feeling brilliant, Popsy, so it's going to be a rarity. You might have to conduct the interviews yourself here, so I have to wait and see, because my throat is killing me after.
I think that'll be the first time ever. My throat's killing me. I think there's a illness going around. I'm not feeling great as well, but I will happily do that for you, mate. And it'll be, like I said, it's my first time ever doing these post-race interviews.
So we'll get those underway then in a moment's time as the celebrations begin for these guys on the podium in just a moment. But we'll skip through that quickly and then we'll get to the race results to have a look at what's gone down. So Che wins it then from Lycon and Websy complete your podium. Fan in 4th, BJ 5th, PJ in 6th, Curtis 7th, Ethan 8th, JB 9th, and Courtney Goblin rounds out your top 10 behind them. Lucky Lambo in 11th, then Sniper Hunter in 12th, Fergie Time in 13th at the end, Badman, Daniel Aaron, Shane, Grumio, and Cheese all fans finish. Of course, Cheese being disqualified late on. And that's the race then, so post-race interviews will get underway shortly. And we'll give Pope some work experience here. So we'll get him on the post-race interviews.
I need it. What we got in here? Okay, stuff. Let's wait a couple more minutes, guys, just to see if anyone else will be joining us for these post-race interviews. I do welcome everyone and anyone.
Okay, right. So whenever I'm going to mute up and I'm going to allow Pope to do the asking of the questions and just see how he gets on, because I'm excited to see it.
Love stuff. So we'll start now. We'll start now as people will be popping in and out. Websy, who finished P3 on track, P2 with the point standings. Websy, how would you sum up that race?
It was flipping tiring. I know that.
I mean,
yeah,
Hungary,
isn't it? It is. I was kind of, I had a really bad quali. I've cocked up my first. I've cocked up my first kind of commentary kind of thing. Commentary. I was listening to you then at the same time. I took an earpiece out, but no, I did my quali and I cocked up my quali, and then I was being about 8th kind of thing. Then I did actually listen to you on the commentary, and I thought to myself, yeah, you're probably right. Actually, I had the mediums on. I kind of probably should have stuck to me. Like I was going to go medium as soft, if you know what I mean. But then I went hards, and it did seem to play out a little bit for me. My tyres kind of it was all right, and then it just gave me enough to go to mediums, but Fan was just pushing me at the back kind of thing. I had some great racing. There was some really touchy, bloody racing, if you know what I mean, as in flipping heck. When was it Lycon took me around that round? I've never been overtaken there before, but yeah, that was that's some crunchy material there off my car. But in general, ironically, I suppose it's one of them leads in it that you kind of feel as though maybe you can't make these kind of overtakes, if you will, because the lads in here are kind of obviously good racers. So no, but Fan just pushed me right to the very, very end, and he was quicker than me. I do feel today, but I just obviously had track position, and I just put my car where I needed to for that. I think it was probably another 1-2 laps, I think you probably would have eaten.
Nonetheless, Websy, you drove a fantastic race, and like you said, and thankful you brought it up in the commentary, it doesn't necessarily matter where you start on the track, it's where you finish, and you should prove that to us completely. And I have to say, probably one of my drives of the race, it was unbelievable. And like I said, the touchy moves, you can do that in this league because we're all capable enough to push each other to the limits, and I think you displayed that perfectly. So, thank you very much, Websy.
Thank you, appreciate it.
And then going to someone who picked up 24 seconds of penalties, we have Sniper Hunter. Sniper, what happened? What happened with that race?
I mean, that was a fun race. I mean, you saw me and Che, we gapped the whole field 10 seconds twice, so no doubt it was the freest win of my life, but I don't want a boring win, so I picked for the stops to give you guys some entertainment, and just unfortunately some people don't know how to take a corner without killing someone.
Okay, very targeted message there, but nonetheless, that's what you believe, and that's fair enough. So, could you describe the incident that happened at turn 1?
Well, I mean, just before braking, he moved over, which is completely allowed. I understand that, but he was lagging really, really hard, so it kind of made it hard to judge. I went up the inside, and he just turned in, tapped my front end, and spun me around, which was annoying because I was fully alongside and easily making the corner. But I get some people struggle a bit more than others with driving.
Very strong words there, Sniper. Obviously, you've now had your gap in the championship reduced a bit. Are you worried, or do you still feel like you've got confidence going into the second half of the season? Obviously, Spartan next week. What do you feel about that track as well?
Not all. I think the only two drivers close to me is Che and Blaze. I think everyone else is nowhere near. I think Fan can on his own, but I think when it comes down,
bit rude, that mate. Bit rude.
Bit rude.
Well, you know.
You've got a reserve here who actually won Monaco this season, so just saying the pace is there. But no, obviously, I like the confidence. You ooze the confidence and you show out on the racetrack. Obviously, the race didn't go your way today, but nonetheless, I'm still expecting you to grab a podium at a minimum next week in Belgium.
Well, I'll be winning the race, so I'll be disappointed with the podium.
Love that. I love that. Uses confidence.
I'm looking forward to next week now.
Websy straight down the inside of turn 1. Lovely stuff, chaps. Thank you very much.
Cheers, guys. Thank you. No, it's brilliant. No, I love it.
I'm a journalist. I like the fighting.
Hey, have a good week, everyone. All right, GG. All right. See you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you, mate. I diverted him into the questions that we want to get asked. Ask about the incidents, ask about tough racing, and then you get to see the driver behind the helmet. It's fantastic stuff.
And I'm the one doing a media course. Right, so, well, I think that's a good place to probably cap it off then. So thank you guys for watching this one. It's been very, very entertaining. Especially right up to the last there, especially with the questions for Slime. I'm very confident for next week. You guys will be able to see, if he carries through on it, if you subscribe to the channel and keep an eye out for the next race, which will be, if I check my calendar here, for next Monday, the 2nd of October, the Belgian Grand Prix at Spa. So you guys look forward to that. 7 o'clock, same place, same time on this channel. From me, it's goodbye. From Pope, it's goodbye.